It's sales and marketing tips from Frank the Tank. Right, hi, this is Frank Furness and I'm in beautiful Queensland and I'm at Allan Pease's palace. As you all know, Allan Pease, famous author, written hundreds of books, a product king, amazing speaker, and also if you go into any bookshop anywhere in the world, you'll see the bestseller on body language, and Allan is the king of body language. Now, Allan, you wrote your first book. How long ago was the first book?
Well, the first big seller was Body Language, which I wrote in 1976, so that's a long time ago. The first actual book was written in 1969 called Hot Button Selling, Identifying Buying Motives.
Absolutely, and I've got it. What's your number one priority? Why is that important to you?
Yeah, you must be really old, Frank.
I am. I guess you've got a grey ears. So let's talk about body language. Now, anyone who's watching this now, maybe on YouTube, maybe in a training session, but Allan's the king on body language. Now, let's talk about body language in sales. If you're in a selling situation, what are some of the things you should look for and what should you avoid in body selling?
Well, one of the first things to look for or to do is exactly what we're doing right now, which is mirroring.
Right.
As we're standing exactly the same way. We have the same foot position, we have one hand in the pocket, we have one hand leading there, we have the same head position, we're nodding the same way. We've got the same coloured hair, but I've got more than you have. Now what happens is, if you're with people you like, admire and respect, like if you're with all your buddies, your mates, mirroring occurs naturally because body language is an outward reflection of your emotional conditions. So whatever emotions you're feeling is likely to be reflected in an attitude or a gesture, a posture or a position. So when people are feeling the same way, when they're with all their friends, they all start to stand and move the same way.
So if you're in a pub, we'll be drinking together.
We'll be drinking simultaneously, scratching heads at the same time. Couples who get on really well, crazy in love with each other, even blink simultaneously. Wow. In fact, I saw one about 2 days ago at a restaurant here in Australia. This couple, and you can see he was trying to make a big impression on her, and she was buying and she was selling as well. They weren't a permanent couple because they weren't in sync and they were talking too much. Couples who are together for a long time, the longer you're together, the less you talk. Because the less you need to know, because you already know what the other person's thinking and feeling. And what was happening is that she'd take a drink of wine, and then he'd pick up his napkin and he'd tap his mouth. So it was almost like one person in sync with themselves. And so this becomes a strategy and technique. If you want to make people feel relaxed and comfortable, is you intentionally mirror what they're doing. Now, the only thing you don't mirror is a negative. You don't mirror anything that might be crossed off or anything that might be negative or concealed. Just don't mirror anything that's a negative. But with positives, it just copy like this. So if you change to something else, go on, let's do something else. I just instinctively change because if we were getting on really well, this is what we'd be doing anyway. Right. And after 3 or 4 minutes of that, you'll get a feeling there's something about Allan I like. I don't know what it was. When we met, we just kind of hit it off well. The vibes were good. The chemistry was there. Well, there's no vibes or chemistry. It means in the first 4 minutes, there are specific things taking place that are making a person feel non-threatened and relaxed, which is what we're doing now. And you can do this on purpose to create a relaxed environment. Because for sales, where you're trying to sell any idea or concept, if people feel comfortable with you and they don't feel intimidated or threatened, they're likely to want to give you a fair hearing. And in sales, all they want is a fair hearing. That's the hardest bit, is getting a fair hearing under positive conditions. And by mirroring, it creates the conditions where you're more likely to get that.
And what are some of the things you've got to watch for with somebody? What are some of the line signals maybe? Somebody says to you, oh, your product sounds great, and
the check's in the mail and I'll respect you in the morning. Yeah. Well, one of the things we know, when people don't tell the truth, if they're likely to be hedging and holding back, this is probably the most asked question I get anywhere in the world. How do you know people aren't being straight? Hand-to-face contact increases dramatically when people aren't being completely straight. Now the danger is, Frank, you've got to be careful not to take one thing and say it's got a meaning. So someone says, look, I sent you that the other day, or maybe they had an itchy nose. But it doesn't matter if they had an itchy nose. If I said to you, I sent you the money the other day, would you believe me? You're a bit sus about it, right? Because you've seen that, and you probably didn't see it consciously. You saw it, and your brain said, tilt, something, watch this guy. But all I had was an itchy nose. That's the danger of this. Right. This means don't touch your face when you want to be credible and believable. So you've got to look for at least 3 signals. We call this a cluster, like words in a sentence. So, I sent you that the other day, Frank's not enough information. Even though you'll still decide to watch me because of what you saw. Here's the way it might look if, in fact, I was lying, where you might be more accurate in interpreting it. Well, it sounds good what you said, Frank, and I think I could listen to you all day about that. The figures certainly look very convincing, and I feel fairly confident at this point that we'll be proceeding. And I'll get back to you or your lovely secretary. And she's been a very helpful girl too, with an answer. So then you've got a whole series of signals plus a couple of ulterior motives thrown in at the end.
Right.
That's what you're looking for, a cluster of at least three. As like body language is a flowing, speaking thing. So you've got to look for a sequence of things and be careful not to take one thing and say it's got a meaning. Even though that one thing, if you just touch your nose because it's itchy, that person is going to start to watch everything you do or say.
Mm. And what should you avoid? Sort of crossing your arms, or what should you be doing in a sales situation? Sitting forward, hands open, I come with no weapons kind of thing? Or?
Well, people will give you a fair hearing and give you a fair go if they feel that you're not intimidating and you're not threatening them. So the key is to be non-threatening. So how do you do that? Well, first is to keep yourself open, to avoid any form of crossing arms or crossing legs, because somebody might say, well, I cross my arms because I'm comfortable. Well, they're only comfortable when they've got a negative attitude.
Mm.
Like if you're with all your mates having a great time, this is not comfortable, this feels wrong.
Yeah.
When you're with all your mates, this feels good.
Yeah.
When you're with people who maybe you don't know or you're suspicious of or uncertain of, this will feel comfortable. So if you're saying a gesture's comfortable, it's because it matches the attitude you were at the time. So you need to avoid anything closed, because we know that if you cross your arms or legs, people will give you less eye contact, they stand further away, are less likely to touch you. The bottom line is they're less likely to say yes to be persuaded by anything you've got to say. Keep yourself open, and by mirroring, you're reflecting their attitude. So they say to themselves, there's something about you I kind of like. And what they like is they're seeing their own attitudes reflected in you. So avoid any crossing, keep yourself open, and avoid any hand-to-head touching for the reasons I mentioned before, that even if it's itchy, people are still going to be suspicious of it, even if you know. That's why when you get the flu, you notice how much.